23, verse 26 and 32 to 34. As the soldiers led him away, they seized Simon from Cyrene, who was on his way in from the country, and put the cross on him, and made him carry it behind Jesus. 2 other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. These, the first of Jesus' 7 phrases that we have recorded from the cross, were almost certainly done as he was being nailed to that same cross. Forgiveness is at the heart of what this day that we call good is all about. Good not because of what was done on this day, but because of all that was achieved through this day. Forgiveness is at the core of who Jesus is. Forgive your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, he'd said to his disciples. An impossible task, one would imagine. And yet here, in the greatest of agony, Jesus prays for those who would kill him. I wonder who he had in mind as he said those words. Perhaps it was the Roman soldiers, those who were quite literally nailing him to his cross. Certainly they were ignorant of what was going on. This was just another day in the office, another criminal to put up for the might of Rome. And yet, these were human beings too. These people who they ignored, afraid to see the people behind the criminal, afraid to acknowledge the guilt that they shared in what they did too. Too often, the excuse of ignorance has been used by you and by me to cover up those things of which we are ashamed. But Christ comes and forgives us, even in our ignorance. For those times when we're not even aware of the damage that we have done, yet we are forgiven. And so are those who do the same to us. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Perhaps he referred to the Jews, the leaders and the people, those who'd shouted, "Crucify him," those who, out of fear, had led him to this place, afraid of a change to the status quo, finding themselves on a journey they didn't understand. I wonder how often we step back out of fear, or do the wrong thing, or say the wrong thing, knowing full well that what we're doing is not right, but nonetheless committed to our actions out of fear of what would happen if the truth were known. the disciples who ran away. They too must have been in his thoughts. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Lord, we're sorry for those times when we let fear or our own self-importance blind us to our own sinfulness. And maybe, just maybe, when he prayed that prayer, he thought too of you and I. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Jesus invites each one of us as we look at the cross to recognize our own need for forgiveness and to know that beyond a shadow of a doubt we are forgiven.
This is our God, the servant King. He calls us now to follow Him, to bring our lives as a